Hey everyone, it's Janet with Yoga with Janet. And today we're gonna do some back bending, which if you know me, you know I absolutely love a good back bend. And these are probably my favorite family of asana because there's such an immediate effect, right? When you're doing a wheel or a camel, and that sensation of when you come out of it, of almost a clearing of the way, or in a really good way, like an emptiness. Yeah. So we're gonna do a little bit of back bending and hopefully find a space of openness in the chest and the throat, these places that are very emotional, where we feel and where we speak from, and hopefully find a sense of freedom right in the front of the body, which is what we all want, is just to feel a little bit more free. And so to begin, if you have a block, you'll just place it between your heels and sit down onto the block. And if you don't have a block, no worries, just sit on your shins. And then just settle the shoulders. Lift the lower back, illuminate the spine, and a little tuck of the chin. Taking a deep breath in and out. And just taking a moment to recognize that you are now in a space of practicing yoga, a more sacred space. With everything you do, taking a little bit more care, a little bit more time, and a little bit more thoughtfulness, with the intention of that spreading out into everything else you do. Take another breath in and out. Good. Open your eyes, interlace the hands behind the back, and bring the fist over towards your right hip. And grow tall through the spine. We're taking a little neck stretch to begin. Wrap the right elbow in and then drop your right ear to your right shoulder. And then you'll start to feel a stretch just in the side of the neck, from the outer shoulder all the way up through the base of the neck into the skull and the jaw. You can search around a little bit and see where you need it most. And be still. Take a deep breath in and out. Slowly come all the way back up and just move the fist to the other side, outer left hip. Squeeze the elbow in and drop left ear to left shoulder. And you might need to search around a little bit just to find where you need the stretch the most. This is really good too if you spend a lot of time at a desk. And take a final breath in and out. Good. Bring your fist behind you. Punch the fist down. Open the chest. First little back bend. And then release. Come forward. Bring the block just to the side and then downward facing dog. Right away. And wrap the triceps in and back. Anchor the inner palms. And then see if you can come to a place of stillness immediately. It can be very confronting, the stillness. But in a way, you get a more clarity and reflection of how you are in the face of stillness. And the idea here is to
Only do things that are necessary, nothing more, nothing less. Minimalism. And through that we find more focus and more concentration and thus more presence. One more breath. And out. Rise onto your toes and then tiptoe to the top of the mat. Hands flat. I'm going to take the feet between the hands. Inhale. Halfway lift. Lengthen. And exhale. Fold. And sweep the arms all the way up. Press the palms. Lift and lengthen. And then circle the arms all the way back to the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up and lift. And then exhale, fold. Belly to thighs. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, step your right foot back. Lower the knee, untuck the toes. Interlace the hands behind the back. Punch the fists down and lift the chest. And then release your hands all the way down. Tuck the back toes, lift your knee, and then step to plank. Inhale, and then slowly lower all the way down, moving through and past chaturanga. Point the toes. Inhale, cobra. And then exhale, forehead to the mat. And 2 more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Last one. Peel the chest away. And release. And press up to your knees. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And out. I'm going to draw your right knee to the chest. Step through. Lower the back knee. Point the toes. Interlace hands behind the back. Lift the chest. It's like a little song. Take a breath in. And then slowly release. Let's step to the top of the mat. Breathe in. Halfway lift. And fold. And sweep the arms all the way up. Lift and lengthen. And then circle the arms back to the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms down and around. Just moving through the shoulders, really, with those circles. And then sweep all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Good, exhale, step the left foot back. Lower the knee. Opposite fist or opposite thumb on top. Punch the fist down. Open the chest. Lean away from your front leg. Fist towards the heel. And then release. Tuck the back toes. Lift and step. Plank. Lower all the way down to the belly. You can take cobra or striking cobra. Come to the fingertips. Inhale, peel the chest away. And exhale, fold. 2 more. Inhale, lift. And lower. Last one. Lift up, draw shoulders away from ears. And release. Hands by the ribs. Press to the knees. Tuck toes downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. And draw your left knee to your chest. Step through. Back knee down. Point toes. And then take the hands behind the back. So rather than leaning forward, lean back. Punch the fists back. Lift the chest. 1 more breath. And then release. Hands down. Tuck the back toes, step forward. Breathe in, halfway lift. And fold. Arms to the side, sweep and press. And then circle the arms all the way down. I have such a little nose itch. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And then dive. Inhale, lengthen. Step the right foot back. Take a deep lunge. Lower the back knee, flatten the toes, and reach your arms up this time. Grab opposite upper arms to make a frame. Press the skull into your forearms. Good, and you can stay on the back knee if you like, or keep the toes pointed and lift the thigh. Good, right into the front of the groin and hip flexor. One more breath. And then lower the knee. Release the hands down. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee, and step to plank. Deep breath in, find the length. This time, chaturanga, lower halfway. Always option to lower the knees. Press the feet back. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. Lift your right knee to your chest. Lower the back knee. Point the toes. Sweep the arms up. Make the frame. Opposite arm if you can. Press the skull back. And press into the top of the back foot. And work to straighten the back leg. It should go straight into that hip. One more breath. And then lower the back knee slowly. Release the hands. Step forward. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Let's sweep the arms up. Press the palms. And then circle the arms down, round, back to the heart. Inhale, arms up, press palms. Lengthen the side bodies. Good, and then dive forward all the way. Breathe in, lengthen. Step the left foot back. Find the lunge. Lower back knee, flatten toe. Arms up, make a frame. Press the skull back. Good, press into the top of the foot and lift for 3. Or front ribs in for 2. And 1. Lower the knee. Release the hands. Back toes tuck, step, plank, inhale. And chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing. Linger, shoulders down the back. Downward facing. Inhale. And exhale. Step the left foot forward, lower the knee. Point the toes, arms up. Make that funky frame. Press the skull back. Last one, press into the top of the foot. Lift the knee. Lean back. 3. Good, for 2. And 1. Lower the knee. Release the arms and then step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Sweep the arms up. Extend. And then circle the arms all the way back to the heart. That's our warm-up. Hope you're toasty. Bend the knees. Reach your arms up. Chair pose. And then sit lower. Lower, lower. Bring your hands to your heart. Twist to the right. Left elbow to the right thigh and then expand. Draw the right hip in and draw the right shoulder back so the head is in line with the tail. Center, breathe in. Good, twist to the left, right elbow to the left thigh. Squeeze the hips to the midline. Press the right shoulder into the back of the heart to spiral the chest open. Thumbs to sternum. Inhale. And exhale. Good, reach the arms up. Look up. And then sit your bum all the way down. You might need to separate the knees. Reach forward. Navasana, boat pose. Good. From here, reach your arms forward. And then slowly lower to your low boat. You're making like a dish shape. Good. And then bring your right shin towards your face. Give me 5 pulses. 5. Stay high. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then use the momentum. Come back up. Good. And then lower. Low boat. Good. Bring your left shin towards your face. Lift the chest. 5 pulses. 5, 4 from the rib cage. 3, 2, 1. Use the momentum to come up. Good. Last one each side. Slowly lower. Low boat. Bring your right leg up. Reach the arms above the head. And then we're going to twist. Reach your fist, a little steeple grip outside your right leg. 5 pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms above the head. Use the momentum. Come up. The last one. Slowly lower to your low back. And then left leg up. Arms above the head. Steeple grip. Reach outside your left leg. 5 pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms above the head. Use the momentum. Come up. And then release the legs. Good. Hands behind you. Lift the hips. Reverse tabletop. So this should feel quite nice after doing all of that hip flexor core work. This is one of my favorite ways to open up through the front body, and especially the shoulders. You have to lift out of them. And then slowly release. Good. Cross the ankles, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And hand out. Good. Center the left foot. Lift your right leg to the ceiling. Inhale. Now draw your knee to your chest. Step between the hands. Find the deep lunge. So right hip in line with the right knee. And place the back heel down. And now sweep your right hand back by your right hip. And this is going to pull the whole right side body back. Good. Heart forward. And then reach your left arm forward. The arms reach in opposition, just like the sides of the body. Good. And then reach your right arm forward by the ear. Stay low in the legs. And come up. Good. Yeah, you can just feel that intensity in my voice. Option to press the palms and look towards the ceiling. And while I say it's intense, you also want to find a sense of ease. And that balance between effort and ease, steadiness. And circle the hands to the hips. Straighten your right leg. Pop the back foot in, just an inch or two. Firm that right hip in. And we're going to move into pyramid. Option to grab opposite elbows. Good, to find a little bit more opening in the chest, or keep the hands on the hips. And then you'll start to hinge forward, hinge forward. Firm the right hip in. Good, and then extend through the chest. Little tuck of the chin to elongate the back of the neck. And then release your hands down. Good. Lower or bend into your right knee. Good. And then take the fingertips forward. Lift your left leg. Good. Hands back by the hips. Let's spin the thumbs up. And then squeeze the pinkies towards each other. Warrior 3. Lift your left leg higher. For 3. Good. For 2. Good. Release the hands down. Bend your right knee. Step your left foot back. This should feel quite good. Lower the left knee.
Right, moving from that straight leg into the bent leg. Option to bring the hand onto the block for a little bit of height or use a strap. For this, sweep your right arm back and then grab your left foot. And instead of coming into this sensation, junky place, I want you to hug the right knee in towards the midline. And actually everything hugs towards the midline. And press the left hip forward. You can feel a little bit more deeply into hip flexor in the quad. And then release the leg. Move the block to the side. And press into the palm. Lift the heel. Step 2. Plank. Deep breath in. And then lower for 5, 4, 3. Pass through chaturanga. 2. And 1. Point your toes. Lift the chest. Cobra. And then interlace the hands behind your back. You can keep the fist open. Yeah. And then extend the chest. Then lift your legs up. And then punch your fingers back. Lift your legs higher. Imagine you're squeezing a block between the inner thighs. 1 more breath. And release. Forehead to the mat. Bring the hands by the ribs. Upward facing dog. Inhale. And then downward facing dog. Exhale. Find a couple steady breaths just to recenter yourself. A lot of this is a practice of staying centered while you're in the intensity, right? Being able to sit in the center of your emotion without being pulled around by it. Okay, other side. Lift your left leg up. Draw your knee to your chest and step through. Find the deep lunge and then place that back heel 45 degrees. Squeeze the left hip in, heart forward. Reach your left hand back to pull the left hip back. And then reach your right arm forward. Lift the belly off the front thigh. And then reach your left arm forward. Feel your left hip do the work. Firm it in. Good, and then slowly as you can, lift up, warrior 1. And you'll just sit into the depth. You can press the palms and then simply look up to your hands. Take a deep breath in and out. And circle the hands to the hips. And then begin to straighten your left leg. Hop the back foot in just a hair, so it's a couple inches. And begin to straighten your left leg. Firm the left hip in, left leg straight, and lift tall. So you have the option to grab opposite elbows, or you can take your reverse namaste, pressing the palms together behind you. Draw the shoulders back, and then pull the front ribs in. And then you'll begin to fold, hinge from the hip. And then just take a couple breaths here. And feel the legs do the work to stabilize the whole rest of the body. And then release the hands. Feel that blood rush in. A little bend. Walk the hands forward onto your fingertips. Lift your right leg up, and then bring your hands to your heart, and option to bring them back. Just bring them back. Firm the left hip in. Expand the chest. Lift through your right leg. 1 more full breath. And release the hands down and step your right foot back. Lower the knee.
Good, come to the right fingertips and then sweep your left arm back. Sweep it back and find the foot. Good, pull the heel in and push your right hip forward. Hug everything to the midline. And then slowly, good, release. Good, move the blocks to the side if you use that. Plant your hands, step to plank. Good, breathe in and then lower for 5. And for 4. For 3, pass through chaturanga. 2, 1, come onto your belly. Point your toes and then lift your chest. Good, this time you're gonna interlace your hands behind your back. Punch the fist back. Good, and then lift your legs. Squeeze the heels toward your bum. For 3, squeeze, release. Again, for 2, squeeze, release. Last one, squeeze it in, and if you can, reach for your ankles at the same time. Good, flex the toes, and then lift. Good, kick evenly with both legs. Lift the chest, lift the thigh. Relax the neck, gaze forward. Imagine that block between the inner thighs. And then fully release. Good, just bring one cheek to the mat. Give yourself a breather. And this is that opportunity to feel the after effects, right? The immediate effects of a back bend. Just observe. And then gently bring the head back, hands by the ribs, upward facing dog. Can't get enough of those back bends. Downward facing dog. Big inhale. And exhale. Walk the hands back toward your feet. And then just slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. And come up to stand. And just bring your feet together, bring your arms together. Find a steeple grip. Reach up and make yourself tall. Level the chin, thighs back, front of the hips lift. Hips to the left, bend over towards the right. Reach up and over till you're making a crescent moon shape. Roll the right shoulder forward, left hip forward. One more breath. And then come all the way back up. Another breath in. Good, and then hips to the right, bend over towards the left. Good, anchor your right heel, anchor your right hip. Good, roll the left shoulder forward, roll the right hip forward. For 3, push into the feet, reach through the arms. For 2, and 1, slowly come all the way up. And then just release your hands down and just, again, take a little breather. And so side bending, the arms above the head is really valuable because in something like wheel, right, our arms are above our head and this part of our body doesn't get stretched that much. We have our arms down by our side all day. So working into the side bodies helps to just lengthen the lats a little bit and just relieve any tension there. If you're at the top of the mat, just come back to the back of the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up, press the palms. And then exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Walk your hands out. Oh, that sunlight. Downward facing dog. That's how I imagine a dog just stretching
in the sun. You can find it more backbendy here by pressing the chest down. It's not wrong, it's just different than maybe your normal straight back bend. Okay, here we go. This is our final flow on each side, kind of working towards our peak. So lift your right leg to the ceiling. Lift, lift, lift. Now draw your knee into your chest and step between the hands. Deep lunge, lower the back knee, point the toes. Okay, lift the torso. So this is exactly where we started in our first little flow. Make a little fist, punch the fist back, open the chest. Good, and now open your palms. You see my palms are open rather than squeezing together. Good, and now you're going to squeeze your left heel toward your butt. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Might hit the fist. Now with your interlaced hands, you're gonna reach it up and over your pointed foot. Good, and then catch into the foot. Good, from there you can kick into your hands and open the chest. Finding the stability. One more breath. And then slowly, same way you came in, lift the fist up and over by squeezing heel to bum. And release. Release your hands down. And then just take a half split. One more breath. And out. Okay, bend into your right knee. You're gonna bring the block just inside the right foot. And then pop up into your back foot. So the heel is gonna come down, hands to hips. Good. And no stress if you don't have a block. Again, you can just use your hand. Firm the right hip in. Reach your left arm to the ceiling. Good. And then begin to reach forward, long spine. Everything hugs towards the midline. Good. And then hand comes to the block. Firm the right hip in. The other option is the hand comes outside of the shin. Good. And then you can use that. We're going to start to twist into a revolved triangle. Open the right chest. Good. Squeeze the right hip in. Your left hip can soften a bit if that feels better in your low back. And then reach your right arm to the ceiling. Spreading across the chest. Soften the ribs in. But imagine your spine is on a little skewer. Is your head in line with your tail? And then is a skewer going from the top hand to the bottom hand? One more breath. And release. But remove the block and just take a little bend into the knee. You can lower your knee down and that might just give it a little rest so this next bit feels more sustainable, which means it might be a little bit crazy. So take everything with a grain of salt and know that there are stages. Okay, lift the back knee. Walk the hands forward and then lift your left leg. Supported warrior 3. This is stage 1. Stage 2, hands to heart. At stage 3, arms reach back. Okay, so to progress from here, interlace your hands. Punch the fist back. So now we're in like a little Dekasana pose or toppling tree, I think it's called. And then you're going to squeeze the left heel towards your bum. Good, same thing. Option to open the fist, lift the fist up and over, catch the foot. Good, and then kick into your hands. Good. And you can bow the chest forward a little bit if you want, but it's more to counter the action of the leg going back. So it's a dancer's pose with both hands. Coming out of it the same way, squeeze the heel to the bum, reach the fist up and over. Release the hands, stretch the leg, and then release your hands down. Good. And then just step your left knee outside your right foot. That should feel quite good to just sit down. Okay, we're going to take half Lord of the Fish or Lord of the Fish. You can either stay here or release your leg under long, okay? And bring the right hand behind you. Reach your left arm to the ceiling. Ground the right sit bone and then spin like you're still on that skewer. And then you can hook elbow to thigh. You can take the bind if you like as well. Fingers meet outside the left waist or the hip. And then expand the chest, like your chest wants to look out the window. And then release. And come to counter. Come forward and just step back downward, facing dog, no flow. Find your breath and let that be your anchor so that it is strong and, more importantly, steady through your whole practice. Your breath tells you so much when you need to back off, when you need to amp it up. And lift your left leg to the ceiling. Inhale. Draw your knee to your chest. Step between the hands. Find a deep lunge, heart forward. Lower the right knee. And then from here, interlace the hands behind the back. Good. Punch the fist back. The palm stays open. Good. I'm leaning back rather than forwards. And then squeeze the right heel towards the right bum. You might hit your fist, and then you reach the arms up and over. Good. Press into your hands, and then you'll begin to bow the chest open. Oof. Stable. Go slow. Good. And then same thing. Squeeze the heel to the bum. Reach the fist up, over, and release the hands. Just take a half split. Just to release that right hip a little bit. And then bend your knee. Place the back heel. Prepare for your revolved triangle. Place the block inside the foot, if you have one, and then hands to the hips. And firm the left hip in. Grow tall through the spine. Good. Left hand to left hip. Reach your right arm to the ceiling. Good. Slowly tuck the chin and pull the ribs in. Reach forward. Sternum forward. The head and the tail in the same line. And you'll place the hand to the block or outside of your shin to have that leverage to twist. Good. Squeeze the left hip in and pull the left hip crease back. And then begin to spin around the axis of the spine. Right chest under, left chest back. Option to reach your left arm up. And find the skewer, tail to the crown of the head. And then through your arms, out your fingertips. One more breath. And then release. Good. Just bend into your left knee. You can lower your right knee for just a moment so that you feel like that left hip is kind of re-energized to move in. Our final little pose, standing pose that is. Okay, bring the hands forward and then lift the chest. Lift your right leg. You can stay here. Listen to your body. Hands to heart. Or reach your hands back. And then interlace the hands. Good. Punch the fist back. Keep the palm open. And then you'll squeeze the right heel towards your right bum. Maybe you touch the hands, and then you'll reach the fist up and over to find the foot. And then kick into your hands and open the chest. Find a point of focus for 3. Good. Lift the right thigh for 2. We're going to come out of it the same way. Squeeze the heel to the bum. Reach the fist up and over. Lengthen your right leg. Release the fists. And then lower the hands down. Go ahead. Take the right knee outside your left foot and sit. Again, that should feel quite nice. Lower the left sit bone. Option to release your right leg. And then
Left fingertips behind you. Reach your right arm to the ceiling and begin to twist around the axis of the spine. Good. Take the elbow outside the left knee. Expand the chest. And then option to take the bind. If you want to take the bind, and just take a few breaths here. And out. Good. Unravel and just bow over towards the right. And then you'll cross the ankles, downward facing dog. One breath in. And another breath out. With the option to jump through, or you can cross the ankles and just come onto your bum. And then come all the way down onto your back. Woo, we made it to the floor. Okay, so we're gonna do, I always do wheel because I think it's the best pose ever. And it's good for everything else that you wanna do, inversions, all that good stuff. Okay, so if there's one pose you do every day, make it wheel. So we're gonna start with bridge, wheel, and then I'll give you one little advanced variation if you're keen. Otherwise, you can just take bridge or wheel again. Okay. Align the heels with the sit bones. Open the chest. Good. And then slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Good. Push the heels down. Lift the tailbone up into the pelvis and puff the chest towards the chin. Again, option to interlace if you like that. Your chest should feel quite open at this point. Now we're getting more into the legs. And then slowly lower, upper back, middle back, lower back. Bring your hands onto your belly and give yourself a moment to notice how you feel from that sort of unopinionated place. A place of total awareness, total forgiveness, pure consciousness. Okay, we'll move into wheel. You can always take bridge. Release the hands. And then slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Lift, lift, lift. Good. And then expand the chest. Good. Bridge. And then option to come into wheel. Flip the hands by the ears, fingers towards the feet, and just come to the crown of the head. Good. So press into your feet. The shins move back. Squeeze the elbows in, and then press up. You can walk the feet in if that feels okay. And then make sure the inner feet are heavy, inner thighs wrap down, and press the tailbone up into your pelvis so the pubic bone becomes the highest point. And then slowly lower, crown of the head. And come down, chin to chest. Roll down one vertebrae at a time. Be still. Do not react. Or notice if you do. We'll come into one final back bend. You can do bridge, wheel, or we're gonna play with lowering one shin towards the mat and wheel, and then we'll lower the other shin.
separately. So it's kind of working towards Kapotasana, but we'll just see how we go, see how it feels. I'd release the hands, slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Bridge is a beautiful place to stay. And you can flip your hands and then come onto the crown of the head. Fingers towards the feet. Plug the shoulders back and then press up to wheel. Let's take a couple breaths here. You can walk the feet in. And then option to play with. Good, so you'll take you're coming onto your right toes. Good, and then you'll work to squeeze your heel towards your bum, and you might work to lower it down to your shin. One more breath, and then come up, release. And then we'll do the other one. Squeeze the left heel towards your bum, and then you might lower the left shin down. Press into the hands. One more breath, and then release. Big breath in. Expand the chest, and then lower crown of the head, and come down. Shoulders, upper back, middle back, lower back. Take the feet wide. Knock the knees in. Just observe. Feel every bodily sensation, heartbeat, any heat, warmth, rushing, the pulsing of the breath. These very real things physiologically happening from doing a back bend. Release your arms to the side. Just hug your knees into your chest and give yourself a little roll. And then you're going to cross your right ankle on top of your left knee. And just open the knee, or drop the knees over towards the right. If that's too much, you just release this foot on the floor. Top foot on the floor. You can look in the opposite direction, up to the ceiling. And then slowly coming back to center. Head opposite side, left ankle onto the right knee. And then drop your knees over to the left. You should feel a nice outer hip, maybe lower back stretch and a twist. And this is the part of your practice where there's less doing. And you remind yourself that yoga is a ritual that fuels every other aspect of our life. And it's the foundation. And so you make this a closing ritual. Nothing to accomplish or achieve or do. More of a process. A cleansing, a resetting. And then slowly Back to center. Draw your knees into your chest. Hug. And just roll side to side. You're going to come up to seated.
Come on up.
And we're going to take square pose. So a nice little hip opener. You'll take, or Sukhasana. You'll just take your shins, cross them in front of each other. Notice my feet, they're not up towards my groin. They're actually away from me. So scoot your right ankle underneath your left knee and your left foot almost in front of your right knee. And then option to bring the ankle on top as well. Grow tall. Good. And just hinge forward any amount. And it might be enough just to sit tall, right, and find the length in the spine.
Closing with these quiet moments. Remind you of the ease, stillness, and joy, peacefulness that the practice has to offer, but it doesn't come without hard work. Right? It just doesn't happen on its own. You do the work, and then it might spontaneously become an outcome of that. Slowly walk the hands in. And then release your legs. Creak, creak, creak. And then other leg, right shin on top, whichever one you didn't do. You can bring the ankle in front. And then grow tall. And again, this could be plenty, or you might start to hinge forward. Allow everything to slow down. And if you're someone who's not comfortable with things being slow or quiet or still, make note of that. Maybe that's your work, is being in these moments. This is where your confrontation occurs, and this is your work. And slowly come all the way up. And then just reach your legs long. Just take Paschimottanasana to counter it all that work of opening. We just bring it back to the center. Come onto the fingertips, option to sit onto a block. And then fold. You can bring your hands by your shins, whatever works, and just fold. If you want to keep it active, you can. It can be really valuable. Pressing the thighs down, flex the feet. After back bending, it's good to give yourself a fair amount of time to quiet down because they are so awakening. You might want a longer cool down just to come and be more prepared for your shavasana and your rest. And then slowly come up and come all the way onto your back.
Take the arms by the side, expand the chest, and allow everything to flap open. Give yourself permission to rest. Take a deeper breath. And then reach your arms above your head. And take a big stretch. And draw your knees into your chest. And then rock and roll all the way up to seated. Close the eyes. Lift tall through the spine. And just notice the effects of your practice. What's different from an hour ago? And note that nothing around you has changed. Absolutely nothing. It's you who has changed. You have done the work to shift and move and to see things more clearly and to view things from another perspective, maybe a softer, less opinionated place. And that is becoming awake. Awake to that true nature. Bring your hands into your heart. Big breath in. And out. Option for an Om. Inhale. Bring your hands to your forehead and take a little bow. Namaste. Hope you have an amazing day and feel a little bit more alive within yourself. Mwah.